Push button, push button. Now wait. Gotta give that a second. All right. Get everything into the green area here. Why do I think I'm forgetting something? Oh, I know what I'm not actually forgetting something. It's just in the background. I need to make sure that I do that. And I need to make sure that live or Let's View is capturing, and it is. Geez, I think that's, what is in my, wait a minute, something is in my pocket. Oh, no, it's not. That's just, I know what it is. It's just where the button on the shorts is. I felt something in my pocket, and I went, did I forget to take something out of my pockets? I never really remember things like that. I will find something many, many, many days later and go, oh, you forgot to take that out of your pocket, moron. Because I just got back. I just ran over and picked up some art supplies and to do some painting, which I will be doing. I'm going to be trying something later. I'm now really starting to kind of play around with different ideas. I'm going to try something that's very, very, sorry. It's like a cough in my throat, but not quite. You know, I think I do have to cough. Let me mute this for a second. Okay. Not clear if I really needed to cough, but I did regardless. But I'm going to be playing around with doing more of an abstract painting. With more, when I say abstract, I mean like a lot of line work and whoa, what happened here? Where is oh, I didn't need to open this. That's why. Close. Okay. I couldn't tell what window I was in. Now I see what window I'm in. All right, let me jump over here. And let's make sure that this is showing as live. It should. I see it. Okay, that's a good sign. So let's punch over to, it's not live there yet. That's okay. We'll give that a minute. Social stream is always the thing that lags behind a bit where it doesn't. Okay, so the first one's there. All right, I see that window. Good. And let's just make sure that I put that in the right spot. And, oh wow, look at that. Oh, it shows somebody is here. Well, whoever is here, welcome. I'm not going to be able to see your, unless that's me. Unless that's me viewing myself. I can't really tell. If it is, then hello me. If it's not, you got to give me a second because I'm not going to see your messages quite yet. Because I'm still booting up the little messaging thing because it has a very weird mind of its own. And it's still not showing the live channel yet, which I don't really know why because it's clearly there. But this is just how this thing is. It seems to take a few minutes before it pops up correctly. It's weird that it's got that there, though. Huh, that's bizarre. Yeah, so it's got, the one channel showed up right away. The other one is taking its time, which is sort of weird. Because normally, you know what? I'm going to reboot the social stream thing. I wonder if the social stream thing doesn't like being up and running before I open that window. I mean, worst case, it just means I'm not going to see... Well, actually, I guess I would see them in this other window. Whoa. That's interesting. The app itself opened in a blank blue window. That's a good sign. It's always something. I mean, this never, ever just comes up without a problem. But let's see. Yeah, it does not want to see the other channel at all, which is very bizarre. Because the other channel is running. I'm looking right at it. Right? Yeah, no, it's right. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. You know what? I say that, but it's got... Huh. Hold on. Let me reactivate that stream. Hold on a second. Let me turn off. One of the channels is kind of stuck in a loop. So let's see if this kicks it out. Aha! There we go. I'll bet you that's why the social stream thing got hung up. So hold on. Oh, whoever was waiting bailed. Sorry. Unless that was me. Sorry I wasn't up and running fast enough for you. That's how it is some days. Okay, now I've got the live thing over there. So that looks good. Let's reactivate this. There it is. Activate. And that is there. So that's a good sign. Let's check this one. Hey, there it is. That's what it was. It did not like that window being open before the live thing showed up. Okay, well that's good to know for the future. So let's go ahead and switch on the participant list. Let's switch to live chat. There we are. And I can now hit this button. And we heard the noise. That's great. And now all I have to make sure is that I am using the correct window and make that visible. Now let's do our tests very quickly. So we will say test 1. And I can see it. So this window can now be closed. Thank you. And we will do test number 2. TST2. Why didn't that come up? It should have. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Or just a little bit of lag. Okay, okay. Just checking. It worked. It just took a minute. That's fine. Lag is okay. I just didn't know why I didn't see it. And now let's do the Twitch test. And we are good. Okay. Now, inevitably, there will probably be a bot that shows up, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. All right, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Everything else should be working. Okay. Just waiting here. Get a drink of water really quick until that fades out. All right. Where's... Whoa. Oh. Wait. Oh, I didn't turn this off. I turned the QR code off. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's go. Let's move this into the center here, just so it's not like that. There we go. That's fine. Okay. Oh, I tell you. You just can't make this stuff up some days. All right, so let's just expand that a bit so that we're getting as much of the screen. I don't think we need... Oh, yeah, look at that. That's the bottom. So we actually need to shrink that back. Hold on a second. I don't know why I did that. Let me move this down, move this up. That's probably good right there. Yeah. Okay, so we would want to center vertically. Nope. I'd want to center horizontally. Center horizontally. That's what we want. Okay, let's click off that. All right, so what we've got here is there's an individual who had sent me a message asking about a commission for one of my Sheoldred cards, my magic cards. So this is the sketch that I'm going to base what I do off of. So I'm just laying it out because what I do with the cards is to try to make them as clean as possible. I will take this, I will print this out at the size of the card. I will then put it onto a piece of carbon tracing paper and just do the outlines. Not everything, just the basic outlines, because trying to draw circles like this and all that just by eye is a really bad idea for me. So I'm going to do it. This is how I've done it for a while. So all this interior detail work, like all these lines. Oh, hold on, you can't see that. Why can't you see that? Where is that? Oh, because I turned the layer off that it's on. Hold on. Turn it back on. So as an example, like all these, unbelievable. Sketch, please. Thank you. These lines and like these interior lines, I'm not going to do those. I won't trace those. Those I'll just draw. Or I'll probably do the basic, what I'll probably do is the basic shape like this, say. And then just that. And then the interior lines, and like for these, you know, I'll probably just do the basic outsides. I won't do anything like that. I would just do kind of probably one of these to go by and then do the second one by hand, that type of thing, just to make sure that it doesn't look really weird. Because trying to eyeball that stuff is it's not easy. At least it's not easy for me. I'm sure there are artists who can do it. Probably people who are really good at like portraiture, where they can see and then render what they see really easily. I don't do that. I draw from imagination more than anything. So to draw what I see is tougher. So I don't do that. But in any event, let's get these. So I'm going to do this alternating kind of, I want to call it like a stone pattern. I don't know if that's really the right word for it, but that's kind of what I'll be going for. So that's what these lines, the yellow and blue lines are, so I can kind of alternate the lines. And those I won't probably trace on, but I'll use this image as a guide for how I want to kind of lay those out. That I don't need to have traced. The circles, I will trace one of the lines, and then the other one I'll just do. So this is more of me visualizing, and I want to send this to the person and make sure they're okay with the idea before I do it, because if they really don't like it, or, you know, there's something they want that I can do, then I'll alter it. So this is basically a preview I can send to the person so that they'll be able to see what I'm going to be going for. So I want to clean this up because I'm not going to have any of these lines coming from inside the face. So actually what I can do, what I should have done, is I should turn the symmetry eraser on. What is that? Is that the symmetry one? Oh, it's perspective. Let's turn symmetry on, reset it. It should be dead center. It is, and then I can basically erase this using the symmetry tool, and that's going to make it a lot easier. Now, not everything in this image is symmetrical. The hands are not symmetrical. They kind of look like they are, but they're actually not. But they're close. I do have to fix, you know what, the thumbs. The thumb is all wrong. I knew there was something off about these hands. I got to fix those thumbs. They're not right. They're way too tall. Let's see, where is that hand? There's actually a really easy way to fix that. Okay. I knew it didn't look right. I mean, I knew it. So basically, yeah, the thumb only really has the one joint, and that's where I made my mistake. So what I need to do is erase this, right? And then, actually what I should do, hold on, if I was smart, if I had a brain in my head, what I would do is the actual thumb itself is fine. Like this is fine. The nail is okay. The thumb itself is not the problem. It's the location of the thumb that is the problem. So if I drop this down and I move this to, oh yeah, right about there, and let's move it out a little bit just so it's got a little bit of a, you know, little action to it, right? So I'll do that. And then on this part here, we will just take out everything above the thumb. Leave the finger's fine, and just take anything that's in here out. And then I gotta find where the nail is, because the nail is somewhere else. Probably above it, it would make sense. There it is. Let's take that out. All this comes out. Yeah, that looks a lot better. The only other problem with it is, hold on, where's those lines? Where's those lines? Where are those lines? Speak actual proper English occasionally, Joe. Jeez. Where are those lines located? There they are. So I'll take this line out. That's got to go. Oop, not that one, though. Just the one on the bottom. Okay, and then probably this one. Yeah. Or not that part, just this part. Right there and right there. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then the only other thing I gotta do, let's punch that back up so you can see what I'm doing, is I feel like that thumb is a little thick. So we're gonna drop it down. Actually, I want to do freeform. Let's thin it just, see, just that little bit. Now you see how much better that looks than that one? Although it's still, hold on, let me actually hold my hand. See, this is I actually ordered a hand model that would have made this a lot easier, but it got lost in the mail, so I'm gonna have to reorder it. Which is fine, but you know, it would have helped with something like this. Yeah, that looks miles better. If you look at that thumb, right, compared to that one, night and day difference. Now, let's fix this one, which, actually I can just go ahead and merge that down because I'm done with that. This hand is where? Here it is. Okay, so let's do a layer above that. And again, the thumb itself is fine. It's just where it is not. So we'll give that its a knuckle. Okay. So let's go ahead and drop the opacity down. Wait. Oh, I see. Where's the actual hand? Let's find that hand. There she is. Drop that down. Where's the thing I just did? Not that, this. All right, we're gonna move that down. That one, I think, actually, I don't have to. This one, I think, is perfectly fine. Actually, this one might be a little small. This might have to go, whoa, let's do this the other way. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. And then just bend it a bit, like that. I think that More or less works. Okay, so then which one? That was this. Let's just erase anything. I can redraw that in a second. Let's get rid of all this. All that. Goodbye. Now I need to find where that nail is. Hold on. I know it's here. I'm just going to find it. It's got to be here. I saw it. There it is. Get rid of all that. And those lines have to go too. Where are you? Where are you, lines? Come on, I know you're here. I'm gonna find you. Where are you hiding? There it is. Get rid of that line and get rid of all that. Just get rid of all that, right? Okay, now, let's redraw that. So we'll redraw that. Okay, yeah, now the thumb looks a little thick to me. So let's go find the thumb. Or I can, first let's push this back. Oh, it is maxed. Where's the one that I turned down? There it is. Turn that back up, because that's okay. Let's find the thumb, and let's just thin that thumb a bit. So we'll still have that, and instead we'll just have it a little slimmer. Just a little slimmer. I think that's going to look better. Let's make sure and find out. Let's just try that. Okay, well, that's a little off, but I can fix it. It's fixable. All this is fixable. So we have that, and then we'll have it like that. Yeah. Yep, that'll do it. So now, much better thumbs. Oh, I'm just looking at my hand. Actually, the thumb might need to move down like that a bit. That might look better. And yes. There, see? Much better. This is why I like to sketch on here first, as opposed to if I just transfer this, try to do it on the card. Oh boy, I would have been stuck with those thumbs. And boy, I would not have been happy about that. Oh, I would have been... What is this? Hold on, what is this thing? Oh, yeah, no, that needs to be there. Why did I turn that off? Where's this? Hold on, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. Okay. Oh, I missed... Oh, it's because I missed those lines. All right, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know why that's... Turn the assist off. Let's turn the assist off. Turn the assist off. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so... so I've got the facial stuff is in. That's good. The thumbs are fixed. That's really good. Because, boy, did they look bad. And now they look reasonable. Oh... let me clean these lines. And this is really just for me. I just don't like having unclean. I don't like having stuff breaking borders where I don't want it to be. There we go. Let's clean this up really quick. Just like that. Like that. Like that. Just so things are the way they should be. That's pretty good. Now, what I need to do is go back to the... Actually, wait a minute. Isn't there one? Okay, there it is. I was going to say, there's one other thing missing. That's what it was. Turn the assist off. Turn the assist off. Okay, let's go back to our radiant lines, if we're going to call them that. Radiating lines, whatever. So we'll go back to these, and let's go back to yellow, and let's fix these here. Yeah, those thumbs would have driven me insane. I'm glad I remembered to do them, because if I had printed this thing out and then somehow transferred that, I would have been... I don't even know if I would have probably just redone it and gotten a new card, which would have been a complete waste, but I just don't think I could have lived with... I don't think I could have lived with those thumbs as a representation of how I do things. It's just too... They were too bad. I mean, hands are tough. Hands are very hard. They just are. I mean, that's why, like I said, I ordered this really nice hand model, but unfortunately, it appears to have gotten lost in the mail, unless it magically shows up, but I doubt it, because they've already issued the refund, and the fact that the company that sent it thinks it got lost in the mail tells me it ain't showing up, or they never had it. I've run into that with certain things with sellers on Amazon, where it turns out they never had the item to begin with. Or whatever, they sold out of it and then allowed the sale. It doesn't matter. There's all different ways it happens. But I am going to get that hand model. But I'm going to wait till after the holiday, because I know for a fact that I'm going to be getting Amazon cards from some people. So that's fine. I can defer the cost of that anyway. The reality is I didn't need it immediately. I just happened to see that it was in stock, and a lot of times that I can't pronounce it. It's a Japanese company that makes it. This really beautiful hand model for our. I think it's intended for artists. I'm sure you could use it for anything you want, but it's a hand model that you can pose really well. I mean, it's really stunning if you see it. How much articulation there is in that hand, and you know, having that hand model probably would have helped for those thumbs, because I could have literally just had it sitting right in front of me. And that's why I want it, because I feel like hands are notoriously difficult for a lot of artists. And I am no exception. I even though I know what I'm looking at, you know, and I'm trying to keep things, because there's all these, you know, people, all different artists have tricks that they use. And even knowing the tricks that you're supposed to use, it just doesn't work. It's somehow, like I said, like the rest of that hand. The rest of the hand, I think, came out pretty well. I do have to sharpen the nails. She should have more like claw-like nails, but I'll do that. But the rest of the hand, I think, came out fine, but the thumbs just did not look right. And I'm telling you, I was looking at a photo reference, and I still screwed it up. And that's what I'm saying is, hands get really tricky because what your eyes see and it can be very weirdly deceptive, where you think you're rendering what you're seeing and you're not. I don't know how else to explain it. And maybe it's just a me problem. I'm the first to admit that's a possibility. I probably should practice hands more, to be honest. It's probably not the worst idea. And that's where having that hand model, I think, would be helpful, where I could just do some studies of that hand model, because it has really interesting little sectional pieces that can represent muscle. So yeah, I'm going to get it. I've been looking at it for a while, and then I finally pulled the trigger on it, and when you know it, never showed up. Them's the breaks. Not a big deal, you know, but I somewhat suspected there was a problem, because number one, the seller never provided a tracking number, which I'm always suspicious of. That just to me is a red flag right off the bat. And then when at one point I got a message, I was checking just to see if anything had changed, and it said expected by December 16th. And that was on December 16th, and I knew it hadn't showed up. And then it said, hey, if you don't have it by the 21st, let us know. And I did. And I sent a message to the seller saying, can you maybe send me your tracking number? And then I got almost immediately, within 4 hours, I would say, which is immediately for a lot of sellers on Amazon, I had a message saying, we believe this is lost in the mail, which makes me wonder if they even had a tracking number. You know what I mean? It's strange. Most sellers give you a tracking number. That's not an unusual request. And for this seller to come back right away and say, well, I'm not going to give you a tracking number, we think it's lost. I'm sitting here going, interesting. Okay. Don't get me wrong, this time of year, but I ordered it well before, because there of course you have to expect during the holidays. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. I shouldn't have erased that stuff. Hold on. Let me just redraw something here. Sorry, because near the hands, I have to remember it's not actually symmetrical because the hands are different. So I just have to redraw these lines really quick. You know, during the holidays, at least in the United States, I don't know about other countries, but I did see something that the Danish Postal Service is not going to do mail anymore. It's crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think we might be in danger of something like that here too, but I just can't even imagine not having a postal service. It's so bizarre. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so during the holidays, if you get something, like right now, as of today, if I were to order something from Amazon, they'll say it's not going to make it by Christmas, because even with their, prime shipping, and it's unreasonable. So that's fairly common, that if you order something, especially the week before Christmas, you really, and then of course anytime after that, you really shouldn't expect to get it. There's going to be a delay to it. It's going to be an unusual delay, because the mail service is swamped. And that's fine, but I'd ordered it well before, and the seller had said they'd shipped it. So so it was a reasonable expectation that I would get it You know, even Amazon said by the 16th because I ordered it before that window. Now, if it had arrived after, I really wouldn't have cared. Honestly, if they sent an update when I had sent that message to them saying, "Oh, it'll be there in 2 weeks," I'd be okay. You know, that's fine. I don't care that much. It's not a life-saving device. It's an art tool. I can live without it. It's really not a big deal. But, you know, for Amazon to say, "Oh, you should have it by now already," and I don't have it, that was an uh-oh sign for me where I said, I don't think this thing's getting here. And sure enough, to get that fast of a reply from a seller saying, "Yeah, we think it's lost," I thought, okay. Something happened somewhere. I don't know what. Because there are things that my mother sent a package for us that was supposed to be here last week, and it only got here today. Which, like I said, that's okay. It's just stuff. I told her, she was very upset, and I said, "Mom, if it comes here after Christmas, who cares? We know you sent it. It's fine. This is not something to get upset about." But you know, that's how mothers are. Wait, why does that look weird? Why? What did it cut off? Oh, weird. It cut that off? Okay, I just have to redraw this in. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I told her. I said it's fine. But she was more. I think she was actually more upset that it might be lost, which we've had stuff get lost before. So, but I said, "Oh, it gets here. If it gets here, I'll tell you." And it actually did show up today. It just showed up maybe literally right before I started this stream. Whereas up until yesterday, if you looked at it, it didn't even tell you where it was. So I thought it was gone. The fact that it just said moving through the network, but with no addresses of other postal places that it had been, I was fairly sure it was never going to show up, or that it was going to show up a month from now. And yeah, I was very surprised when it showed up today. So that was a nice surprise. It would not have bothered me. It's perfectly fine. I don't need my mother to get me anything for Christmas. Honestly, I'm fine. I don't need anything. You know, I'd rather she just saved her money. But you can't tell moms that. Moms just feel like they have to get you something, even if they really don't. They feel like they do. So I've at least managed to tell her, okay, well, don't spend a lot then. If you have to get something, which she does not, then at least don't spend a lot on it, because honestly, I don't need anything. I'm fine. It's perfectly okay. So I think she at least listened to me on that, which is a start. But honestly, and I know some people say, well, it's not Christmas if there's not presents. You know what? Christmas, to me, presents should be for kids. You know, pre-teenage kids, young kids. That's who Christmas is for. I don't need anything. I don't. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I think I missed a line. Or I did an extra line. No, I think I did an extra line. How did I do that? It's really weird. I think I did an extra line I don't need. Yeah, that line. That line was not necessary. Hold on, let me trace that line in. Okay. Yeah, I did an extra line somewhere. Huh. Yeah, it's right there too. I must not have been paying attention. Perfectly fine. Got rid of it. Fixed. Problem solved. But yeah, I don't need stuff. I told my wife the same thing. I just don't need stuff. You know, the only thing I need is to be with people that I care about for Christmas, and I'll have that. So it's fine. Everything else is just not necessary. Okay, I have to sneeze. Let me mute this really quick. Woo! Okay. That one came on quick, but I was still able to mute it in time. So we're good. Okay, let's see. That's all the yellow lines. Oh, I'm just doing this because I want to have a clear picture of what I'm going to be doing. So this is a lot of just clearing out, making sure everything looks clean. Because again, I'm going to be sending this to the, I guess I should use the word client. I'm going to be sending this to the client. Just sounds so official. I'm just not used to saying stuff like that. But I am going to be sending it to the client for approval. Oh, weird. And this one is missing a line it should have. That is just nuts. Okay. How weird is that? All right, let's... Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, this is the one that should have a line to be in between the blue ones. All right, well, luckily, It's still in the same place, so this should be very easy to just get that in. So let's get that line. You know why? Because that black line is there. I saw the black line, and I just assumed... I saw it as a line that was drawn, and it wasn't. It was the actual perspective line that I was seeing. Okay. That's fine. All right, there we go. And let's turn that assist off. Okay. Well, no, actually, I can turn the assist on for the head. But, yeah, so I will be reordering that hand model. It's very cool looking, and it is useful. Because it normally when you have it used to be very hard to get well articulated what's the word for it, art pieces, I guess, or tools. I should say tools. There used to be, because everybody knows the little wooden dolls, those wooden art dolls. Those things are useless except for very basic shading. But honestly, nobody uses those as a reference thing. I remember buying one of those because I just thought that's what you had to have. I think one of my high school classes, maybe art classes, they had us get them, or they gave them to us, whatever. No, we bought them. I remember because I had to spend the money on it. I do remember buying it. And I so quickly realized that this thing is nothing. This thing isn't going to do anything. It was completely useless, except for, again, the very, very basics of shading. But even that, you could have used anything with kind of rounded. You could have used an apple to accomplish the same, shading training or whatever you want to call it. The idea of how shading works on a curved or a bent form. You could have done that with an apple. This thing was absolutely useless. But everybody associates them with art. It's just kind of something you would almost expect to see. If you were to go to an artist studio, you would expect one of those little wooden dolls to be there. It's almost now like a tchotchke thing, where it's almost like a joke. It feels like to me. But in practice, on the off chance anybody is an artist that watches this, and you're thinking about it, do not get one of those. Get one of the life posing. There's a number, the same company that makes, I think it's Figure Arts or Fig Arts, make a couple of really, really good posable models. There's even ones that have, what do you call it on? They have these printed lines on them, so you can kind of see how the form bends. Those are useful. Those little wooden guys, no. Unless you want it as an ironic little thing, do not get that with any expectation that it's going to help you. It is not going to help you in any but the most basic ways. And even then, even in the basic ways, I don't think it's going to help you. You would do a lot better by just doing life drawing than using one of those things. Seriously. It's not going to help you. So that would be, whoa. Oh, that's right. I went to the wrong thing. I need the pen. There we go. If you're looking for something, then get one of the more expensive. I mean, there is a degree of what you get what you pay for with those too that you have to remember. Because those things are usually dirt cheap. And there's a reason. Because they're useless. Or they're of so little utility. I won't say they're useless. I can't say that they don't have any value. But outside of maybe for a very young child, just to get the basic ideas of human form. Because it has legs and arms and all that stuff. So maybe for that very specific case, that would be easier because it's very simplified. So for a fairly young child that's trying to learn forms, I suppose there's a value to it. Although even that, I would have to question how much there would be, especially now. In the modern day, where you could probably go and find a free computer app that would have form and muscles and models, even for a young child to learn to draw, you would have so many better options than that thing. I mean, that really feels like almost like an ancient tool that for some reason everybody got really fond of and kept it around, and it's just stupid. Like I said, if you're at all serious, don't get one of those things. get a figure drawing book over one of those, or an anatomy book over one of those, and you'll get more out of it than something like that. Or, as I said, now there's just YouTube life drawing classes. There's all kinds of stuff now. There's so many great resources. Maybe too many in some cases, because I think some of them are not anywhere near as useful as they think they are. And you will easily find that you'll have different, and in many cases, professional working artists with contradictory advice. I've watched YouTube videos where, I'm not kidding, where the one artist completely contradicts what another artist says as far as this is the real way to do X, Y, Z. And I'm just sitting there going, that's amazing. You guys completely contradicted each other. Both, as far as I can tell, very good artists, but with the opposite, which just tells you that art is very personal and you figure out your style through your own mechanisms. Hold on. I think our lawn service is here today as opposed to tomorrow. Yep, that's what it is. So you may hear some background noise. That I probably should have thought of that they would come today and not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Christmas Eve, so it makes sense they want to get this out of the way today. So you may hear some background noise. That's perfectly fine. Where are we on stream-wise? It's probably only about 10 minutes left anyway. This is going to be a shorter stream because I'm going to be doing probably not this week because it is the holiday week here. Oh, my dog just heard noise. It's okay. It's just the lawn people. It's just the lawn people. She heard a noise and she didn't like it. So I don't think I'll be doing another. Hold on, I gotta look at that form. What is that? What is that? Oh, I see what it is. Okay, so this would be that. Okay. I think I accidentally. Yeah, I got rid of one of the forms. I shouldn't have. Let me find it here. Fix that really quick. Bear with me. Where was I saying? Oh yeah, so I will be doing more streams next week. That's what it is. See, I think I masked off something I shouldn't have. Yep, right there. Just that little tiny thing, but that's the edge of one of the horns coming off of. Why is that not? Oh, because I'm not on this, you idiot. Again. Hold on, I did it wrong. Do that. There, that's much better. Switch to black. So I'm planning to do more streams next week, since I'm going to be off, and I'll be able to do them at earlier times like this. Oh, what do we got? Best viewers, blah, 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 blah. What a dope. Delete message. And let's see. Yeah. Possible ban evader. I knew somebody would show up. They always do. Stupid. Frugal demonstration. I mean, it's not you legs. Frugal demonstration you legs. What a dumb name. I mean, at least try to pass yourself off as being a real thing. But yeah, kind of glad they don't. So sorry. Yeah, there's going to be some background noise of the lawn equipment. Can't do much about that, I'm afraid. And I'm guessing the mic will pick it up. It might just be a dull hum, but I'm sure you'll hear it. But yeah, so I'm planning on doing a couple streams next week at earlier times, since I will be around and I can. And hopefully that way, people who don't normally get to see the stream, if they want to, can show up. Like today. Probably about the same time as today, I would guess. I always think I'm going to be able to do it even earlier, and then it's inevitable, it never happens. So something like this time, probably next week, is what I would be aiming for on a couple of days. Maybe Monday, Wednesday. I'm going to say that loosely. We'll see, but that's what I think I'm going to aim for. And yeah. But they probably will be shorter. Let's see. That's pretty good. Well, let's clean that up. And then I'm just going to do some alternating erasure here to set up the different blocks. And then I probably will be able to send this to the prospective client. We'll see if because I've had people who've wanted cards, and then when I went and sent them the design, they just weren't in a position to be able to afford them, which happens. I mean, especially this time of year, I would not be shocked. If somebody says, yeah, I do want the card, but I just spent a whole bunch of money on Christmas gifts. See, there's another thing. I don't want people spending a bunch of their money on me. Like family-wise. I just don't need it. And I don't want people, because I think a lot more people than you ever realize put themselves into a good amount of debt at the holidays. And you know what? It's just, I don't want that. I don't want people doing that. Because again, it's often just stuff that I don't really need. Even like gift cards and stuff like that, it's fine. I just don't need it. Okay, so now, all right, the blue lines. The blue lines, I started erasing the blue lines down here. Let's, hold on, let me fix this. Oh, these are yellow lines, sorry. Let me put a new line here. Boop. Okay, let's do that. Okay, nope. Gotta go to the sketch. There it is. Let's just line that like that. Okay, and let's invert you, not assist. Invert. Merge down. And then just get rid of that. Also, now we have the leaf blower and the heating just kicked on. So lots of background noise. Sorry. Not intentional. Blue line. Blue line needs to come out of here. Okay. And, all right, let's keep going on the blues here. So blues, we're going to get rid of this one. We're going to get rid of this one. And this one, which means not that. That side's fine. We can leave this side of it. This is just for this outer. We're going to leave that one. We're going to leave this one, but we'll clean this up. And then we'll get rid of this one. And this one. And we'll leave that one. Get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Going this far. Hold on. Yep. Okay. Let's do this. But this one we'll get rid of on this side. And we're going to leave that one. And get rid of it there. Leave that. Leave that. Get rid of. Leave that. Get rid of. Leave that. Get rid of that. Two, leave those. Get rid of that. Get rid of that one. Leave that. Get rid of this. Leave those two. Get rid of this. And then leave those two and get rid of this. That. And we will do this one. Okay, and that's coming to here. Perfect. Okay. Now we got to go to the inner ring. So on the inner ring, let's do, that's gone. That's gone. Leave the next one too. Get rid of that one. Get rid of this one. Leave the next two. Get rid of that one. Hold on, make sure I'm going all the way out. Yep, okay. And then we'll get rid of that one. And that one. Leave the next two. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Leave the next one too. And then get rid of this. And this. Let's see. Then we'll do that one gone. That one gone. We'll leave. We'll do that one. Leave those next two. Get rid of this. That's going that one. So we'll get rid of this. Leave the next two. Get rid of this one. There we go. Let's get rid of this. Leave those two and get rid of that. And we're good on the inner ring. Okay, and then, all right, now. The yellows. I have to go to the yellows for the inner rings. So let's go to yellow. Okay. So the next inner ring, I started to do it and didn't finish it. Or maybe I did. No, I did. Okay. Oh, no, I did them all. Did I? No. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay, I did the outer ones, it looks like. I did the outer one for sure there. I did that inner one. And it looks like I started to do this next one and probably stopped. I probably was in the middle of something. So let's take that out. Actually, no. That looks right. Yeah, no, that's okay. So maybe I did do these. Maybe. Yeah, no, I did. Those are okay. These are okay. Yeah, the yellow ones are fine. That's good. Okay, so the inner ring. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. Oh, that's a yellow one, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Let's go back to... I realized I made a mistake on the invert thing there. Okay. Yellow. Back to yellow, please. All right. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of that one. We'll leave that. We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. How about that one? Leave that. Get rid of this. Those are fine. Let's get rid of that. That. This. Okay, oh, there goes the lawnmower, so you're definitely going to hear that. This. This. And leave that. Okay, so we're good there. Okay. Now... Yeah, now what? Now, I'm going to do one more thing. Because always got to make things more complex than they need to be. So we're going to duplicate this. I'm going to actually minimize this ring. So this is going to be like an inner ring. Hold on. Like, come on. That. Okay. So that's the inner ring. Oh, wait. Yeah, we don't need a mask for that. That can just be a circle right now. All right, let's duplicate that. Strip the mask off. Then we're going to make this one bigger because this is going to sit in between this. So hold on. This is going to be a little bit tricky to get right. Maybe not. Maybe not as much as I... Oh, no, definitely. No, it needs to be bigger than that if I'm going to make this actually look right. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Perfect. All right, now let's get really quickly in here. Let's get rid of all this, all this, all this. Is that a gap? No, that's the body. Okay. That's fine for that. Now, where's this one? That's this one. Go in here. And let's get rid of this. And it's okay that these lines are different weights. These are just guidelines because I'm going to alternate the stonework inside of these as well. Oh, wow. That was unintentionally kind of an interesting symmetry. Was not planning it that way, but that's all right. I don't mind it. It's just interesting. So we'll do that. Erase all this. Oh, missed one of the other lines too. Hold on, I missed one of the blue radiators. There we go. Whew, gone. Okay, back to this. Okay. All right, get rid of all that. Get rid of this. Get to that. Bring that through. And okay, so now. Interesting. You know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do here. This line and this line are basically the same. Merge those down. Now, we're going to create another line. Right? This one, we're going to make... Actually, I can just go ahead and re-invert. This can be re-inverted back to blue because it's already done. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Yeah, I clearly missed that. Hold on. There's way too many of these lines. So let's get rid of that guy. Oh, wait, you know what? Yeah, no, leave that one. But this one, we'll just get rid of this. See, this is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm kind of jumping the gun a bit on what I'm planning to do. But that's okay. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Let's get rid of this. Leave that one there. Then we'll get rid of this one. Right? And then we'll get rid of this one. Okay. Let's get rid of this one. And then this one. See what I'm doing here? I'm creating another set of alternating kind of stonework inside. I'll leave those two there. Those can all stay. And then down here, let's get rid of this one. And leave those. let's get rid of this one. Leave those. That's fine. That's fine like it is. Actually, let's go ahead and invert that again and just look. Yeah, see, like this. Where's that? Is that this? Okay, that's gone. This is gone. And then this is gone. We'll make those bigger ones. Okay. Yeah. No, leave that. That's okay. I don't mind that. Okay, there we go. That's okay. That's okay. This is all fine. Those are already... I've already done those. Let's do this or this one, okay? I'm just trying to create some kind of alternating shapes, so we'll get rid of that right there, and then probably that right there. Yep, that looks better. That one. That's running that way. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's better. You know what? That might be it. I like that. That looks good. Or do I need one more? No, you know what? Hold on. I want to do... Not that one. That one. Just want to get... there's a little bit of sameness going on here, so let's take some of these out. They're a little crowded, I should say. It's just a little crowded in here. So let's take that out. Let's take that one out. Yeah, that's better. I'm just looking for anywhere where it looks a little crowded. I'll just take these out individually. Oh, that's a different ring, so I'm not worrying about that anymore. I'll take that one out. That's okay. How's this one? Actually, yeah, let's take this out. There we go. Hold on, I'm like looking at it in total to make sure there's not big bunched areas. But I think now, I think this is where I want it. I think this is where I want it. The decision I have to make now, to be honest, Oh, hold on. Just realized one of those rings is going through the hands. Yeah, this one. This is going through the hands too much. Get that out of there. Hold on. Yeah, that does not look right. And if I don't do that, I might accidentally trace it that way. So that's what I mean about got to be really, really careful with these since they're going to be my baselines. Okay, there we go. All right. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to leave it like this, which is actually perfect because we're right where I wanted to end the stream anyway. But that, I think, is what I'm going to send to the person who requested the card and see what they think of this with all the, of course, with that off. But that, I think, might be it. The only thing I have to decide is how I want to handle those circles of power that are around the hands. And I may just end up... That's a tricky one. I'm just thinking about that. I wonder if I might just get rid of those. Oh, I feel like I need those. I feel like I need those. I do. I feel like those should be there. So what I may need to do is actually just create an inner space to these and then get rid of the line work inside them. Because originally I was kind of thinking of having them be like translucent, but I don't know about that. I think maybe the better way to do this is to do them as kind of the classic power circles like that, and that might look better. And then have no line work inside of there. So let's do this. Let's move that over because this should be the same size. Not the exact same location, but the same size anyway. We freeform that because it's a little off. It's trying to line up with the other one, which it really shouldn't be. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that's a better one. Whoops. And then, yeah, now that I look at it, I just think that is the smarter way to do it. And then just erase anything that intersects with those circles because they're power circles. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be the better. I think that's the better call on this. I really do now that I think about it. I think what I was thinking of doing would be interesting, but I don't know if I can accomplish it with the markers that I have. I think that might be the problem, is I don't know if it's going to be something I can actually do with the tools that I have for the, because remember, these cards are so small. If this were digital, I know exactly how I would do it, but it's not digital. This is a card that I have to do for somebody. So the trick with that, sorry, I'm just looking for this piece of armor that's cut off because I just want to restore that because it's just bothering me to see that line incomplete. There it is. Yeah, that's the problem. Is this is going to be on a card, so I don't have the advantage of the digital tools to fix what I want. But you know, that's how the cards are. That's the nature of them. But I'm trying to think realistically what I'll be able to actually do. Why is that cut off again? Whoa, 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 whoa! What happened here? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why is there stuff missing? Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. Is you have to be realistic about what's doable with this stuff. And for the card, for the size, I just don't think I'm going to be able to manage that kind of transitional form. I'd love to tell you I thought I was skilled enough to do it, but I don't think I am. So rather than take a chance on it, I'd rather just do what I know I can do, and it will still look good. Still have the circles of power. They're still going to have color. They're just going to not worry about the translucent part. And I think that's going to end up being, I think it's going to serve the image better to do it that way. So that's the plan. Yeah. That is the plan. Okay, so that's what it's going to be. The only thing that's now, of course, bugging me, even though it absolutely does not matter, even a little bit, is the, oh, here we go. These big circles. It's just bugging me that this is not arced correctly all the way through. Nobody would ever care but me. But of course, I care because my brain works the way it does. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing down here, even though, again, this does not matter at all to anybody. But it just makes it look a little bit nicer. That little bit nicer. And that is it. There we are, everybody. We are done. So let's do this. Let's kick our be right back on. All right. And yeah. So this is going to be, yes, the last stream before the holidays, at least the Christmas holiday, depending on what you celebrate. I think there's other ones that are at the same time. So we'll just say the holidays that are going to occur in the next week, or I should say the next few days, because I think everything, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what ends when. I shouldn't say it like that. So I don't know, but this is going to be the last one that is going to be done before the Christmas holiday. So I'll say it like that. And then I think I'm planning my next stream will be on Monday, the 28th, 9th, in there. Hold on, let's just look. I do have a calendar app. Not that it matters unless you're watching this live. This is not going to mean anything if you're watching it later, but yeah, I'll just leave it at that. This is going to be the last stream before the Christmas holiday. So there's nobody here, it looks like, live, so this doesn't really matter. But if anybody is by any chance watching live and I just don't see it, have a wonderful holiday, whatever you celebrate. And if you're watching this later, of course, this doesn't apply unless the timing is just right that you happen to watch it right before a holiday, in which case, have a happy holiday. And as I always say, or at least try to always say on these things, If there is a creator whose work you appreciate, try to do something to help that creator out. Now, I'm not talking about myself. There are a lot of creators who are trying to make a living at being creative artists and creators, and it's not easy. It's very, very difficult. At the best of times, it's certainly not getting any easier now with all the generative tool stuff and everything else going on. There's a lot of people who are getting laid off. There's a lot of people who are under a lot of pressure or maybe not getting as much work as they used to. And reach out to those people and see if you can help them in some way. It does not have to be monetary. If you can, great. But if not, if all you can do is support them through a nice note or resharing their work or following them or subscribing to their channel, that's great stuff. That all matters. All this stuff matters. And, you know, honestly, there is no amount of support that is too small. There really isn't, you know, because not everybody has the ability to give money to everybody else, especially if there's lots of creators that you support. You're not going to be able to give all those people money. You're just not. That's just a reality. But you can send all those people a short message. It really doesn't take much except for time. It doesn't have to be a novel. It can just be a couple of, you know, words of encouragement and appreciation. It does not have to be a big thing. If those people are active on a social platform of some kind or something like Behance or whatever, you can reshare their work. You can follow them. You can like whatever they've got or whatever the equivalent of like is on that platform. There's still lots of things that you can do that do not have to involve money and really don't have to involve all that much time, but they will matter because if everybody does that, those things add up. Like so many things, your individual action might not matter, but if everybody took that small action, then things start to matter and people will start to see that and they'll have that appreciation. And again, to go back to the idea that it doesn't have to be money, somebody might be struggling with whether they're going to keep being a creator or not, and just that word of encouragement at the right time might be the difference for them. So again, it's worth that effort. So do that if you can't do anything further, and that's perfectly okay, especially, again, lots of people, everything is more expensive in a lot of places. If this is around the holiday time, you've probably stretched yourself for buying gifts and stuff like that. It does not have to be money. Just that note of appreciation or thanks or just an encouraging word, those things matter. They add up. They're important. So whatever you can do, set aside a little bit of time and do those things. It's so easy to, and I do it all the time. So I'm not saying this like I don't do this exact same thing, although I'm trying to be better about it. We all think, oh, well, I should do that, and then it falls by the wayside. Well, as soon as this stream stops, or stop the video, honestly, that's more important than listening to me, then stop this video now and go do it. Otherwise, set that time aside, put it on your calendar, and support those people who create things that you enjoy, because it's important stuff, and you should take the time to do it. On that note, everybody, I'm going to get out of here because now I'm just rambling. So thanks for being here. And until next time, have a wonderful holiday if that lines up for you. Otherwise, take care.